Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review / overview on War of the Realms. So either if you've read it and you just want my opinion, or you haven't read this series and you want to find out if it's actually worth picking up because, you know, sometimes Marvel events can let you down. But I have to say, this is one of my favorite Marvel events in I don't even know how long. I haven't really liked a Marvel event in a really long time. Either it focused on a character that I didn't quite care about, or it just felt useless. And you're like, all right, now you're just kind of going into the next event to look for answers. But this one, I feel like there's a lot of good closure throughout the book, and also felt like it meant something because there was so much build up through the Thor series for so many years with Jason Aaron. And for me, I'm actually not a hardcore Thor fan. I got into Thor with Jane Foster's run, really enjoyed her book. I know, some people really like it and some people don't, but I really enjoyed it, and I like the human element of Thor, because that's kind of the reason I couldn't get into the series, is because it was so, driven in Norse mythology, and I felt like there wasn't any grounding elements until Jane came around. And now talking about War of the Realms, I feel like that's what makes this series succeed, is that yes, there is epic Norse god and wars and everything you want to see in an epic poem type style storyline, like a Thor story. But there is a lot of groundedness with Jane kind of being one of the main characters of this title, and her kind of going through her own hero journey and wanting to be Thor again so desperately, as every Thor kind of figures out why they are worthy, and kind of finding a new definition of what worthy means. And I really like the ending of the series because of that, and everyone going down their new paths, and honestly gets me really excited for these new series that are based on War of the Realms, where usually with these titles and spin-offs, usually there honestly aren't many spin-offs. It's just like, here's an epilogue, all right, we're moving on to the new event. It's kind of cool to see that this actually did affect the Marvel Universe and a lot of characters, especially Thor himself and the Thor mythos. Now, going into the slight negatives of War of the Realms is the miniseries. I don't think they were very necessary. I know a lot of people like Agents of Atlas because that did spin off into something else. But personally, I couldn't get into any of the miniseries. So I don't really think they needed to exist. Usually that is the answer of Marvel events. You never need the tie-ins. There were some tie-ins I enjoyed. Champions was pretty good. That's the one that kind of comes to mind. I think Fantastic Four had a really good tie-in where it's like, all right, you're still dealing with the Fantastic Four aspect of the story. It doesn't make you leave that storyline, but also tied somewhat into War of the Realms, showing, oh, okay, this is a shared universe. So honestly, I think Fantastic Four probably did it best, but I also did like the emotional impact from Champions in that first War of the Realms storyline. Now, another weak point of this is probably all the other characters in Midgard being in this war. Like, I love the concept, but it was just too many characters. And honestly, you never really got any story besides Jane, which again, she's part of Thor anyways, and probably Matt Murdock got the most. Everyone else was just kind of there being like, all right, I'm going to fight this war. I think they tried, like, Captain Marvel being ahead of this war team was kind of interesting, but it didn't really go anywhere, and never really got me personally interested. So that was kind of a lackluster part. Even in the middle of the War of the Realms series, I feel like that was the weakest, is when we focused on these different armies. It was a cool concept, just wasn't executed correctly for me. But another success of this book, I think that a lot of events have to learn about, is not to add more issues. 6 issues is awesome. Don't be like, hey, you know what? We're gonna add another 3 because I like that this seemed planned ahead of time. It had a beginning, middle, and end. So yeah, please plan your events ahead of time and don't add extra issues or minus issues. Just do your thing, do your set story, and make sure you know your ending before you actually go into the story. And this actually felt like Jason Aaron knew his ending, and obviously because he's been doing this title for so long, and this is kind of the end of his Thor story. I know he has like one more left. He has like a mini series left, but this feels like a very good cap of the end. And going lastly, the cinematic art style by Russell Dauterman, which he has obviously worked on Thor titles before. He worked on all the Jane Foster stuff, which is another reason I really like that title. And it's so cinematic and works for this war-like storyline. So that's another great aspect, is just it was great art and a good creative team who have worked together in the past. So you could definitely definitely see their chemistry throughout the series. So overall, pick up War of the Realms. Do you need the miniseries? No. Do you need the tie-ins? No. But pick up the main series and enjoy it, because it's definitely one of the best Marvel series or events I've read in a really long time, and probably in like the past decade. In all honesty, I really enjoyed every issue of this series, and I thought it had a really good ending as well. But let me know in the comments below, are you going to pick up War of the Realms if you haven't? Did you like the series? If you did pick it up, let me know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic definitely go follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Go check out my comics like Father Like Daughter and They Call Her Dancer. And also every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time is Frontline Live, where we discuss our favorite comics and comic book news. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Bye.